Welcome to Practical Business Technology, where we keep you in the know about technology's impact on business. Today's show is sponsored by the Maricopa County Bar Association, and our host is Dave Kinsey, author and owner of Total Networks. Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Dave.
And today we're going to be talking about removable media, also
USB
known
drives.
as USB drives or thumb drives, flash drives. These are those little stick USB things that you can stick into your computer and save files.
Or it could be a cable plugged to a bigger square big thing, rectangle thingy or square thingy.
So it's just another way that data can enter into your computer or your network.
Or leave.
Correct.
Yeah.
Either you are putting a file in or you're saving a file out.
And I would argue that 10 years ago this was a lot more popular than it is today. Even 5 years ago it was more common.
Yeah, I remember going to Kinko's and bringing my flash drive with me of whatever file it was that I wanted to print and plugging it into their computers there.
Yeah, but
I don't do that anymore.
No.
Now when you send a file to a printer, if it's too large, there's cloud storage ways of communicating.
And that's part of the thing. Is basically almost everything now you're going to send that stuff over the internet to cloud storage and it's generally that's a better way to go.
So, since most people don't use these devices anymore,
correct.
What is one precaution we could take to limit bad data, malicious data being accessed onto our systems?
You could turn it off by default. You can
turn what off?
You can turn off the capability for a computer to read data storage or write to data storage
from a flash drive.
Okay. Because it is, and the whole idea is, if you don't need it, why have it? Have it there.
Sure, because actually I've never seen this, but I've heard that while it might not be super common, that a bad actor could leave a flash drive that's got malware on it lying around in a parking lot or on a table. Maybe you might find it just lying around the airport and think, oh my gosh, maybe someone left this. Go stick it in your computer to see if you can find out the owner of that USB drive, and then, I just got my computer infected.
Yeah, now your countermeasures, your antivirus, your anti-malware software should detect and prevent against it, but why incur that risk if you don't need it?
Right. So the recommendation then is, if you are not normally needing these USB flash drives on your computer, just set it up, have your IT configure it so that your computer won't even read that file.
Yeah, and you could do that by what's thing called group policy. You can set it so that you don't whether it's turned off, or you might have it in your antivirus software might have that capability. There's different ways to do it, but yeah, and so you may say, we want to turn that off by default, and then for somebody that maybe they do regularly receive these drives, only turn it on for those people, because that's legitimate business use.
Sure. I mean, there might be some individuals that, for whatever purpose, are receiving files from clients that in that manner and they need it, but not every employee of the company.
And fewer every day.
And fewer, yes. So another thing that you should be thinking about is, if you do use these USB sticks, is to encrypt them.
Yeah, and you can actually require encryption. That you can, once again, through group policy, you can set it so that anybody that writes anything to a USB device, that it has to be encrypted, which that's generally it's a good thing, because you don't want to have that. The things that are portable tend to get lost.
So the only thing I would add to that is that if you're mailing this to a client or colleague, don't write the password down in the same envelope that you mail them.
And really, if you're the one that's generating this USB drive, the question is why? Why not use a cloud storage? It's a better way to go. You have better controls over it. It's more convenient. It should be less expensive, easier, better controls, better audit. Yeah. So that would be the number one takeaway. So, but once again, this is not, when you look at security is about layers, security is about checklists. Is this going to be super high on the list? Like, is this a 10 out of 10? No. This is not, do you have multi-factor turned on your account? Okay, that's like, whoa, wait a second, or have good passwords or things like that.
Sure, this is lower on the list.
This is lower on the list, but
it's not a hard thing to implement.
It's not a hard thing, yeah, exactly, because security is a trade-off between convenience. There's security and convenience, and there's trade-offs. And so this generally is not going to impact people's lifestyle. They're not going to know that it's turned off, generally. So why not? And because the idea is, it's easier to hack a system than to defend. Why? The bad actors only need to be right. They only need to win one time. The one time they, get through the defenses and they win, and they do whatever the bad things are out to do. To defend against it, you have to be right every time. All it takes is one slip up, and game over. So the idea is checklist, and this is one of the items on there.
I would also just add, if you're disposing of one,
USB storage?
USB storage, to do it properly, just like anything else that you dispose of. You don't want to throw away a computer that's got data on the hard drive. You wouldn't want to throw away a USB flash drive that's got any company data on it.
Yeah, you should wipe it, but also if it's encrypted with a good key, then it's you really haven't done a data breach. So, yeah. So this is an example of an easier one, but it's something people don't think about so much because people USB drives. Well, I remember when I used to store that. So they're right, and so they don't even think about it. So
but it's just another place that data gets stored, and anytime we have data, we want to make sure it's encrypted and that it's stored properly and securely.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Stephanie. Everyone be safe out there.